let's drop down one fight to the co-main event. Fight of particular interest to you, Mark, taking place in your division. Of course, we have Paddy the Baddy getting that big promotional push from the UFC, getting a step up in competition to Paddy the Baddy, the favorite here, minus 275. Jared Gordon coming back at plus 210. How do you see this one playing out? Who you picking to win this thing?
This is a fight that I'm particularly interested in watching, and I can't wait to jump straight into it. I have Jared Gordon by TKO, left hook, round 2. So I am going with the underdog on this one, Joe.
Okay, so do you see some holes in Paddy the Baddy here? What's the main reason for picking Gordon here?
So I've been watching both of these fights. I mean, looking out in the future, I would love to fight Paddy the Baddy. I would also like to fight Jared Gordon. He's one of the guys that I've looked at. So I've watched a lot on tape of both of these guys. I've seen Jared Gordon. One of his combination is a right, and then he comes up with a nice left hook. And I think that's going to play into the way Paddy Pimblett sometimes keeps his chin high after he finishes a combination. And I do believe the grappling as well. Jared Gordon is a brown belt under John Danaher. I think his ground game is underrated. I know Paddy Pimblett is also coming in with some good ground game, but I think that's going to negate each other. I think we're going to see Paddy Pimblett get tired. I think he's going to keep his chin high. And I think Jared Gordon is gonna win by TKO, left hook, round 2. That's my call, Joe.
Do you think Paddy is overvalued? You think he's overhyped a little bit here? You know, they keep trying to put these guys on a fast track to being the next Conor McGregor. It's working out with Sean O'Malley a little bit. He still has a way to go, but they're trying to put Paddy on this track as well. You think this guy's overhyped a bit?
Let me be very clear on this one. I think Paddy the Baddy is the real deal. I mean, you don't get to the UFC and have a track record like he had with a 4-0. I mean, he is the real deal. There's no easy fights in the UFC, and he managed to put guys away. He made it look easy. He's the real deal. I just think a guy like Jared Gordon coming off a fight with a guy I know, in particularly Grant Dawson, another great grappler. Looking back at the fight he had with Grant Dawson and the way he was able to defend having a guy on his back, which is where Paddy the Baddy is very good at. He's finishing a lot of the guys with a rear naked choke. I think just looking at an aspect like that, you know, having Jared Gordon being able to defend a fight, a situation like that, I think that's going to open up and actually make this a stand-up fight. And what I've noticed when it comes to Paddy is he keeps his chin, has a tendency to keep his chin up a little high. And if he hasn't corrected that leading up to this fight, I think that will open up for Jared Gordon to finish the fight.
Yeah, I agree with you on this one, Mark. I'm going to take Gordon to derail the hype train here, you know, getting odds of plus 210, you know, credit to Paddy, you know, nice finishes in his fights. Absolutely. This guy is a finisher, but we've also seen some sloppy moments in his fights versus a relatively weak competition, guys who weren't able to take advantage of some spotty moments, I guess you could say, from Paddy in these fights. And this is a pretty big, decent step up in competition. A guy in Gordon who's been in there with some pretty good competition. Charles Oliveira, he's 4-1. He didn't beat Oliveira, of course, but still, I think that experience helps. He is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. So, yeah, we'll take Gordon to derail the hype train here.